by the barn where the stories grow, under the sun where the warm winds blow, a sanctuary where the hearts unite. Come join the love in the golden light. Love lives here where the open skies sing. Every soul finds a place to cling. Join us today, feel the warmth inside, in the Barnside Chat where the love won't hide. Whispers of care in the gentle breeze, laughter that dances among the trees. Every life matters, every heart's a flame. Together we gather, no one's the same. Love lives here where the open skies sing. Every soul finds a place to cling. Join us today, feel the warmth inside, in the Barnside Chat where the love won't hide. Skies sing, every soul finds a place to cling. Join us today, feel the warmth inside, in the Barnside Chat where the love won't hide.
Hey friends, hello. Welcome to HEEFS Barnside Chat. My name is Derek and I am Executive Director and co-founder here at the farm. It's so good to see everybody again. It's Monday, it's 1:04 p.m. We have sprung ahead. Daylight savings time is something that we do here in Ontario, so it is now 1:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's different to experience daylight savings time when we spring ahead, and in the fall when we fall back an hour. But it's 1 o'clock. How in the world are you? And do you celebrate daylight savings time where you're tuning in from? And do you find it helpful? I don't know if I find it helpful, but it does add variance to the season, and I think I can celebrate a little bit of variance. On today's Barnside Chat, we got a great episode lined up for you today. As always, we're going to talk about what is happening around the farm. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Enrichment Emporium, and then we're going to have some resident updates, and then we're going to have some facilities updates, and then what we're going to do is take some questions from the Magic Rainbow Bag. And if you have questions to add to the Magic Rainbow Bag, all you have to do is add them to the comment bead below, and we will do our absolute best to answer the questions. I have got a couple questions from last week that we didn't get to, so I've got those lined up. And then if you have any questions now, you can drop them in. You can private message us or email us, and we will get them. We'll get them on either today's show or next week's show. Oh, I see some comments coming in. Gail says, yeah, you do change the clocks. It's 10 a.m. in California. You don't do time change at all, Sylvia. Yeah, I think I can agree with you a little bit on that. I mean, I'm both ways. I'm for it and I'm kind of against it, but it is what it is for right now. Yeah, that's right. Hello, Marilyn. Good to see you. Hello, Gail. Hello, Diane. Thanks for joining us. Sylvia, hello. Alyssa, good to see everybody. Okay, I've got an Enrichment Emporium update for you. I got a little video to show you, and this is something that happened this week on the farm, and we got to put the mirror installation in. So here's a little video. I hope you like it. There it is. This week we added something new to the pig areas. Mirrors. Now, before anybody asks, yes, it's a plexiglass mirror.
They say
And no, the pigs didn't request the beauty salon either, but pigs are incredibly curious animals. And when something new appears in their space, they have to investigate it. And now, let's face it, mirrors, well, they are interesting. There's movement, there's another pig looking back, or maybe a very handsome stranger.
Yeah, come. Stretch over here, bud. Go over there. Come over here. Install data for me. He said you've installed it wrong.
Some pigs walk right up and they stare at themselves. Some glance quickly and walk away like nothing happened. And some keep coming back just to check in again. And that's enrichment. It doesn't have to be complicated, and sometimes it's just giving the residents something new to think about during their day. A little curiosity, a little investigation, and maybe a quick, check in the mirror. Because life is sanctuary, and it should be safe.
Beautiful. Thank you.
But it should also be interesting. And apparently, it can also be a little bit stylish.
Tito toes. That's what you call Tito toes.
Head on over to happilyeveresther.ca to donate now towards our efforts to keeping the residents healthy and enriched. Love the new mirror installation. These mirrors, they are really big, and we've got one for Sammy's area, and we've got one for Malcolm's area, and we've got one for April's area. And between the three areas, different residents do come in and out and experience that area. So I can't wait to see BJ and Escalade see themselves. I don't know when the next time they're scheduled to come in the arena, but I think we should plan on introducing them to the mirror to see what that looks like. Thanks again to everybody that's participated so far in the Enrichment Emporium. It's been a great turnout. We've got lots of things happening here at the farm, and the residents are quiet right now, which is nice to hear. Okay, let's jump into some resident updates. There are a lot of them, so let's get going. Wow. Okay, we've been tracking this. We've been tracking Audrey's ear. And you may remember that Audrey had a pretty nasty ear wound. There it is. And then it started to heal. This is over a few days. And it's looking really good. Check it out now. Check that out. Pigs are such amazing healers. And I'm glad that Audrey's ear is almost all closed up there. So high five to Audrey. You saw this week that Catherine and Abraham were both transported to OVC in Guelph, and that was because Catherine had a lot of blood in her urine. And we had collected a couple of samples and tried to get them tested. We had on-farm vets here to check her out. But the best thing that we could do was bring Catherine to OVC. And we brought Abraham along as a companion for Catherine so that Catherine wouldn't be screaming the entire time that she's there. And, with Abraham there, he was able to keep her calm. Now, on the reverse, removing Abraham from the farm here did have some adverse effects on Obama. He wasn't quite ready, or he didn't really understand why Abraham was taken away. But they have been returned. They spent one night at the college, and they did a bunch of tests on Catherine to see why there's urine in her bladder. They did a scope, and they did x-rays, and they did ultrasound, and they trimmed up these 2 square windows, one on either side of Catherine's body there. And that's so that they could get in close for the ultrasound view. So while they scoped her bladder, they didn't see anything too remarkable. They saw some stones, but nothing that would contribute to the blood that we were seeing. So we don't know the source of the blood, and it's somewhere within the bladder because of the color of the blood. But for right now, she's back on farm, and we are treating her with, just making sure that she's got lots of fluids, and she'll be given iron shots and B shots, and they will also be checking her blood more frequently to make sure that her counts are up and that the amount of blood that she is losing, that her body is able to keep up with her. So Catherine's almost 16 years old, and this is looking, this is what palliative care is going to look like for Catherine, is just lots of checking up on urine samples and blood samples to make sure that we're not bringing her through anything that is too difficult for her. So fingers crossed for Catherine's journey, but they are both back at the farm doing well. This was found in the coop, a very soft and ill-formed egg with almost a cooked yolk. And that's not a great sign. That's from Fern. Fern has started laying again. I believe with the new light schedule, that being more sunshine and longer daylight hours has contributed to a lot of our hens going into their laying cycles. So Fern, that's a very dangerous scenario with a soft egg like that. So right away we implanted Fern. This is Nicole and Trisha and Fern. And Nicole is giving an under the skin implant for Fern to stop her from laying, because her body obviously needs a rest right now. And the chickens, they give up a lot of their body's nutrients in order to lay the egg. So we're watching very closely with Fern, because having reproductive cancers is something that we have to monitor very closely, and that's something that is very popular among this species of hens. So we're happy to report that she's laying healthy eggs, but she has not stopped yet laying. So I don't know if we have to do another implant to stop her from laying, but it is good news that she is laying hard eggs again. Okay, here was Trisha's very first pig hoof trim. She's got the Dremel in her hand, and I don't know who this is up in the air. I wish I could tell from this leg, but that's all the information I got. I know that she is training, and yeah, she's right in there. She's at the business end, and making sure that the residents have healthy hooves is something that we take very seriously here. We have to do hoof care every single day. This is Mr. Brindle. He got hauled in for hoof care. We use the chute raise equipment where they go in it and then it raises up and their feet dangle out the bottom. And for Brindle, we got him in there, and we also were able to do teeth trim. So he's got a new smile. We trimmed back those very sharp tusks, and he had a very successful appointment. And we got all his hoovies trimmed up and his teeth trimmed up, and he got returned back again. And then we had to convince Hercules that it was his turn to have his hoof treatment and his dental treatment. So here's Chris luring Mr. Hercules in. Hercules was not very impressed, but he did settle in nicely within about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. He settled in and was being a very good patient boy. But we did his teeth, we trimmed him up, got all his hooves trimmed up. Here's me under it. We used the Dremel and the grinder and hand tools. And then here's Kevin and myself and Trisha. Trisha's got the peanut butter stick and making sure to keep whoever is in the chute, make sure that they're comfortable and snacking away and not concentrating on the treatment that's going on. But here we're just getting ready to cut teeth, and this is something that we decided to do in the chute for Brindle. Typically we do the teeth cutting outside of the chute equipment, but for our senior pigs where they, we don't want them to fall, doing it in this chute equipment is the safest way that we can do it for them. So we had teeth trimming, we had hoof trimming this week, and here is somebody that showed up with a small injury on his foot. Our dear Prince showed up with a bloody toe there. Not sure what happened, but his nail got pulled off. So we were wrapping that and keeping that actively clean. And we have our Genie Bean, who is receiving daily knee wraps. And that's palliative care. That's love. That's what it looks like. To keep the residents safe and comfortable in their senior years sometimes looks like needing to have knee pads put on every day. Sometimes it means needing to be cleaned under every few hours so that you're dry. Maybe that means lowering the heat lamp so that you're warmer, or wearing a coat, or receiving some extra meds. But that's sanctuary life, and it's a privilege to do that. So Jeannie, we wrap her knees every single day. The caretakers do an amazing job with all of the residents. And here's somebody who's got a new normal. And this is, I don't know if you can tell, but by the way the back leg is there, that is definitely Emma. Emma now holds her leg like this. She's got a fracture and some sort of a growth on her toe, and this is her new norm, the way that she walks. And we're accommodating it every single day with pain meds and keeping her entertained and engaged, and she's back with her herd members, which is great, and she's able to go outside. But a limp doesn't mean end of life here. A little stutter step doesn't mean end of life. It just means more accommodations, and we manage pain every single day until we can't. And when those difficult decisions do come, it's also our honor to say goodbye. But that's not the case right now. We are accommodating Emma every single day in ways that we might not know yet how we're going to accommodate her. But she's doing great, and she also received a weigh-in. You can see her here being lured onto the scale. One of our stalls has a big farm scale in it, and this is Nicole. And Nicole works here. We have two Nicoles that work here. So this is Nicole F. And she is luring Emma here on the scale, just checking in on Emma to make sure that she's not losing weight and that she is maintaining her weight. Okay, wow, that was a lot of resident updates. So what are we going to do now? I think we should do some facilities updates. While we do facilities updates, we're going to walk down the hall. We're going to go into the Wonder Arena. See what's going on. Oh, there's Audrey. Hi, girl. Hi, girl. Oh, there's the silo. Wow. Big boy. Hi. Doe. Here's Penelope. Always has to come and say hello. She always has to come and say hello. Oh my. That was kind of rude. You're coming in to say hello too. My goodness, that was kind of rude. You ran Penelope right over Sammy, and here comes Big Sammy. He says, I have to come and say hello. He says, I love you very much. Oh gosh, I love these pigs so much. And you're doing good? How was your day today? Huh? You have anything special to say? Huh? You have anything special to say? Oh. Okay, so they're doing well. There's Penelope. Hi, darling. That was kind of rude. You got run off. You got run off. That was so rude. Huh? Yeah. Oh, hi, Robert. Hi, bub. Hi, big boy. Hi, big man. All right, let's do some facilities updates. Is winter over yet? I think so. When I see the snow fence being taken down, I think winter's over. But we still haven't done the weather report, so I don't know if it's really over or just partially over, or that we're hoping that it's over, but the snow fence is being taken down. So that's a good sign. And another good sign that winter is over is that there's some fires happening. We're burning up all of the old building supplies that we inherited that aren't really that good for any of the projects that we've got going on. So a lot of it's just pallets and a lot of brush, and we're burning that up. So that's great. We got our fire permit, and we've been burning up these piles and cleaning it up. Whoopsies. And that means that we are in our rainy, wet season. So in Ontario, Canada, we're coming up to spring, and we got the big snow melt. And this is out the north entrance of the barn. It is almost flooding. There is so much water right now. And it is like right at the, like almost at the entry point of the barn. And we are just begging for it to be absorbed into the ground. Well, that's what's going on there at the front. So we're making plans, trying to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to navigate the water at the front of the barn here, because it causes a lot of problems, especially in the winter when it's freezing, and well, especially this time of year where it is warm during the day, so it's thawed, and then at nighttime it's freezing, so then it's a complete ice rink at the front of the barn there. And it's pretty problematic because we've got, residents that coming in and out of there from the fields like BJ and Escalade. And also, if we have to bring the cows in, that's how we're doing it. We're bringing them, right up this way. And as well as our staff and volunteers are all entering through this. So not ideal, but we're going to figure it out one project at a time. And we're also talking a lot about pasture maintenance and the areas that need to be seeded and have compost spread on them, and the areas that need to have some stones brought in for the pig bogs. So we're starting to get a good view of the fields and their condition now. Most of the snow is gone, which is great, which I think this is a perfect leeway into the weather report. It's time for the sanctuary weather report, and the snow is gone. Well, mostly gone. There's still a little bit in terms of where the machines were piling it and where the roads were being plowed, but winter is mostly over. And here is a look at the weather. It is 15 right now and very windy out. And you can see that we're not quite out of winter's grip yet. You can see next Monday going down to minus 14 again. Oh no. It's almost spring, but with these weather patterns that are up and down between the freezing point, of course, we've got a lot of freezing rain, significant rainfall warnings, which is awesome. Significant rainfall warnings is not what we need right now at the front of the barn or down at facilities south area, but fingers crossed that we don't get that much rain. But it's nice, it's beautiful, the sun is shining, you can hear the birds. There are a lot of birds singing and chirping away, and they've returned. The migration from the birds are migrating back, and that means that it's HPAI season, and that's bird flu. And for right now, the doors are closed on our bird area, so the birds are not allowed to go outside this time of year, and we have different boot wash and boot change management that we've got to do in and out of the coop areas. So we are hopeful that we have a quiet HPAI season and that it is kind to Ontario and all of Canada and everywhere really, because it affects birds everywhere, and we don't need any of that. So it's HPAI season. So you'll be hearing us talk more about biosecurity and as it relates to our birds and keeping everybody safe. Let's see. Oopsies. Sorry, friends, I lost track of where we did the weather. It's the Magic Rainbow Bag section. Perfect.
What's in the bag? The magic rainbow bag. What's in
Okay,
the bag?
it's time to do the Magic Rainbow Bag. If you have a question that you would like answered, all you have to do is put it in the comment feed below. These are some questions that we captured last week when we didn't answer them at all. How does Malcolm handle his tusks being trimmed, as I know he can struggle with care to his body? Yeah, Malcolm is a bit sensitive, and that's okay. We just have to approach him differently. He is crocodile fast, and he requires different handling, and he needs a little more time when we're doing these, and he doesn't have much trust. He doesn't have much trust for us, and that's okay, or his trust is drawn back on us, and he's very, he's apprehensive that something's going to happen. But it takes a few caretakers to get him in and get that done. But, as soon as the treatment is over, they get rewards, and they've forgotten all about the treatment as soon as it's over. But he is a handful. Thanks for asking and caring about Malcolm. What causes bumblefoot? Okay, Judy, it's an infection that can happen by a lot of pressure in one point on the foot. So, and over time that causes a sore. And yeah, it's very popular. It's something that affects all people that care for birds. They are at one point or another, they'll have a bumble on it, and it just needs to be wrapped and tried to be dug out. It's like a really deep callus, and the hope is that you can get that out so that new tissue can grow and granulate back in. But that's what causes bumblefoot. It's an environmental infection. We've got Claire asking, do the goats have to have hoof trims? Yes, they do. And how is Genie with things like that? So the goats have to have their hooves trimmed about every 6 to 8 weeks or as needed, but they are certainly looked at every 6 to 8 weeks, where we go into their stall, and if Genie is laying down, we'll do it while Genie lays down, but typically she does it standing up, and we do it 1 foot at a time, where we raise it back and we do it, and we let the resident dictate how many hooves we're able to trim, and if we can't get them all, we'll go back on another day. But Genie's doing great. She doesn't mind the hoof trim. She's been having them trimmed for years, and she's kind of desensitized to it, and she doesn't seem to mind it. And also because she's a perfect girl. Okay, let me scroll on the message feed right now. Can you dig a drainage ditch? Terry. Yes, we do have to look at where that's going to drain out to and what is needed. We have to put in some sort of drainage pipe, and then there's something called a French drain for the water to go into before it is then absorbed into the groundwater. But dealing with that is going to require digging up all of the front there, bringing in drainage stone, bringing in some drainage pipe, and we're having somebody come by the farm in the next week to try to help us strategize and make a plan for that. So we'll keep you updated. Thank you, Terry. That is a lot of water. Yes. Yes, looking for more questions here on the feed. Remember, if you have a question that you want answered, if you're not watching the live and you're watching it back, you can put a comment feed. You can put it in the comment feed and we'll get it ready for next week. Sounds like a bladder infection. Could you drink some cranberry juice? So they weren't recommending that, Sylvia, and it's not a bladder infection. They have ruled that out. Let's see Elfie's tongue. That is hilarious. Elfie has a huge tongue. If you missed last week's Barnside Chat, you should go scroll and tune into that to see just how big Elfie's tongue was. That was something else. How is Eleanor doing? Oh, our little stinker, our little girl, our little baby. She is doing so good. She's zooming around. She's got access to a couple of stalls, and we're getting ready to move her into the arena very soon. Any updates on Eleanor being into the arena? Good time to put this in. Yeah, we are looking probably 4 weeks out before we'll be able to move her in. She is encroaching on 100 pounds right now, and that means that soon she won't be able to squeeze through the gates, and that means she can move down here to the arena. But until then, we have to keep her in the stall barn, and that's the safest area for her. Okay, I think that's all the questions. Now, please remember, if you didn't get your question answered, or if I failed to see it on the comment feed here, please know that I'll do my absolute best to get at it for next week. Okay. All right, friends. Well, that's Barnside Chat for this week. Today we checked in on the health of the residents. We shared a few updates from around the farm, and we took some great questions from all of you. And we showed you a little bit about what's happening around the Enrichment Emporium. And as always, none of this happens alone. To our volunteers who show up week after week, and to the caretakers that walk these barns every single day, and to the donors and supporters watching from home, thank you. This sanctuary exists because of you. Thank you for believing in a world that Esther helped show us, one where kindness reaches farmed animals too. Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for being a part of this Barnside Chat community. My name is Derek. Goodbye, everybody.